Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I will be reviewing an African violet called Shinoda Red Wine. It was hybridized by Paul Shinoda. I was unable to find information about its registration with the African Violet Society of America, so it might be possible that it hasn't been registered or I just need to do more research. Paul Shinoda is a West Coast African violet hybridizer. He grew African violets at his commercial nursery in the Washington state for over 30 years. He is also a founder of a winery called St. Paulia Vintners, which he opened at his commercial nursery in 1994. What you see in front of you is a young plant in its first blooming cycle, and it's been blooming for a while now. So there's more buds coming out, as you can see, so I think it's going to be lasting for a while, and I'm very excited about it. Shinoda Red Wine is considered to be a vintage semi-miniature variety with the medium green glossy girl foliage. I really like the girl leaves. This is my first girl foliage African violet hybrid, and I'm really enjoying it. It's considered to be a semi-miniature, and again, I had hard time finding the proper description of it, but from what I had found in the resources available, it's a semi-miniature that can sometimes grow into a small standard. So at this point, the rosette of this plant is about 8 inches in diameter, and I think it's gonna stay like this from what I can see, because I've had it for several months. But depending on the growing conditions, it might grow larger, I'm not sure. And I'll talk about my growing conditions in a bit. The flowers are double red wine pansies. They're really pretty. I don't have a color of flowers in any other plants in my collection, and from what I can describe, and I hope the video conveys the color properly, they have blue undertones, and they're dark red, but I would say they're dark purple red with blue undertones. Very pretty, and they sparkle in the sunshine, and that creates such a beautiful, stunning effect when you look at that plant. They are not really large flowers. I would say they're about an inch and a half. And this is a very young bloom, so we can compare it to a dime coin here. As you can see, they're not very large, but there is a lot of them on one bloom stalk or flower stem. So here they are in comparison to a dime coin. And the number of the buds on one stem, I can't even count, because if we take this one, this is all coming from one stem, which branches into 4 smaller stems, and then each of them branches again, and so creates this one easily can have 20 buds on one stem. They are not really standing tall above the rosette. They're rather cascading from the top down, but I really like this. I know some African violet enthusiasts prefer tall standing blooms. I have both varieties, and I enjoy both equally because it's just creates a visually different effect, and I like this one a lot. So that's what it looks like, and I'm looking forward to more blooms coming out. So this variety is growing in my conditions on the east facing window, and I also supplement it with the LED light of 5000 K for about I'd say 8 to 10 hours a day, depending on the season. Because as we know, the length of the daylight varies, and it's shorter in the winter time, and it's longer in the summertime. I keep the temperatures in the summer at 79. I keep my air conditioning at 79 degrees currently, and so far I haven't had any problems. I know they prefer on the cooler side, so but the winter is coming up, so I will just keep it that way. The humidity, I try to maintain about 50%, and I use humidifiers for that. I know some people prefer not to use humidifiers because it can cause mildew on the plants. To prevent that, I also run the fans around the plants 24/7. So to make sure the air is constantly moving, and I know mildew spores don't like that. I grow this plant just like all of my other plants on a wick, and it has a little dosage of balanced fertilizer with the equal proportion of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, or as it's called, NPK proportion. I currently have one leaf of this plant at Propagation, and it was planted on August 13th, so we are now end of September, so we're talking about 6 weeks, and here the size of the baby plants I have coming out. So it propagates quite well, I would say, in my growing conditions, but you just need to make sure that the leaf that you want to propagate is a younger leaf, and usually they recommend taking leaves from the third row, I believe, second or third, so they should be younger leaves. These ones are not from the bottom. The older leaves, the older the leaf you get for propagation, the slower it will produce babies, or some of them may not even produce them. So just be mindful of that. The only critique here, I would say, or observation that I see here, that the babies are coming in all sorts of directions here. It's a girl leaf, and this is my first attempt at propagating a girl leaf, and so I see them coming out from in front of the leaf here, and also from the back of the leaf. So next time when I propagate girl leaves, I will probably leave a longer stem so that the babies have space to grow out and not be blocked from the light by the mother leaf. So here it is again, Shinoda Red Wine by Paul Shinoda. I really enjoy growing it. I enjoy sharing it with you. It's a beautiful variety. If you can get a hold of it, certainly go ahead and get it. You will not be disappointed. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you again on the next episode of African Violet Reviews.